Hey, what's going on everybody? Aaron here, Kite Paddle Surf, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to repair your inflatable supboard. So right here I have a slingshot tracker and I have a really small pinhole leak, so we're going to be doing a repair on this. Same process applies to all the inflatable paddleboards that we sell here at Kite Paddle Surf. So with your inflatable supboard, it's going to come with this small repair kit. It's going to have a tool to adjust your valve if you need to tighten it or loosen it. And then it's also going to have some cloths that we're going to use to patch this board, so it's usually color matched to the main color on your board. So we'll use that. And then on top of that, the next important piece you're going to need is some glue. I purchased this glue at West Marine. It's a PVC glue, but there's other glues, Aqua Seal, some other ones that'll work just fine. So we're going to use to glue the patch. Just got a pen, got some sandpaper because we're going to sand the surface, some acetone, do some cleaner, and then I just got a little bit of soapy water so that we can find exactly where that hole is. So let's get started. I realized that I had a small leak in this board because I left it pretty much almost fully inflated overnight, and then about 2 days later I noticed that it definitely lost some pressure. So I know it's really small, so it may take a little while to find that little pinhole. So what you're going to start off doing is you're going to take some soapy water and you're just going to I just started by pouring it along the seams just because I know I didn't tear the board at all or I didn't gouge it, so I know it's probably one of these seams. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go along the seam with the soapy water, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking for some bubbles that are going to be coming out of the seam. So I'm just going to kind of work my way around, keep going. Oh, and there you go. I can already start to see these bubbles that are coming out right here. So I'll move this, you can see it right there. There you go. So you can see that bubble right there forming up. And like I said, it's just something in that seam. It could be like the glue underneath may have just gotten a little bit softened up right there and just let a little air pocket come through. So we'll kind of sand this area and we'll patch this place up right here. And I'll just go around the rest of the board, make sure there's nothing else, no more pinholes, and let's go to the next step. Okay, so we've identified where the hole is now. So what we're gonna do is to start off by drying the surface, and I know that it's gonna be right in that seam right there. So I'll just make a little mark to know myself where it is. So now I'm just gonna dry the whole surface off right here, and then I'm gonna start off by sanding this surface right here to prep the area for the glue and the patch. Now that we have our small pinhole marked, I'm gonna go ahead and deflate the board now that we've found it, because you want the board totally deflated when you install the patch. So let's let the air out. Okay, we'll let that deflate for a couple minutes. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the patch out, which is this right here. So there's a little bit of a textured side and then the smooth side. We're gonna put this smoother side down over the board. So there's our piece. Now, typically when you have a tear or a little bit more of a significant puncture hole, we're gonna need at least 2 to 3 inches to cover that area, so it gives it lots of coverage. This is a really small pinhole, so what I'm gonna do is actually just use the base of this to make my hole. So I'm just gonna set it here in the corner, like so. Here's the other tool I was talking about. This is your wrench to tighten up the valve. And then we're just gonna go and mark this out. You wanna make a circle or an oval because you don't want any sharp edges sticking out, because then it could catch and then your patch could start to slowly come out. There we go. Okay, now we're just gonna go ahead, cut this out. Okay, there's gonna be our patch, some extra material. Okay, so from there, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some sanding, and I just do a little bit of sanding anytime I do patches. Doesn't matter what it is. I like to rough up the surface so it just gives it a little bit more of kind of a hold between the two materials, so it's not so smooth. So I just got some 80 grit sandpaper here. Anything that's got a little bit of abrasion is fine. So we're just gonna go ahead and sand that area where the patch is gonna lie down. Both areas sanded. We're just gonna clean the surface now. You could wipe it down. There wasn't too much that came up, but we're gonna use just a little bit of acetone that I have here to clean the surface. Now that we're done with the sanding portion and the acetone cleaning, we are ready to put glue on both the surfaces, the board and the patch. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the glue out. Now, when you're applying the glue, it's really important. You just don't put glue on, slap it down. It really has a process to it. Okay, so we're just gonna apply a thin layer of glue right here. And I'll just kind of dab some here in the middle, and then I'll brush it around. I'm also gonna put some right here. Okay. And then we'll roll that out. You can also use paintbrushes. I just happen to have a little roller right here. So we'll just kind of roll the glue out evenly. Same with this. Okay, so there's the first layer, and we'll give it a couple minutes to do a second layer. Okay, so now we're gonna repeat the process from the first layer and do a second layer. We'll wait 2 minutes on that one. Okay, the third and final coat is ready to go on. So I'm gonna apply the patch. At this point too, you could use a roller when I put the patch on, but if you don't have a roller, most people don't, you could use the back of this tool to rub the patch on, okay? So right now I'm going to take the patch, I'm going to center it over where the hole was, and I'm gonna start at one end, and then just kind of work my way towards the other end and not get any air bubbles. Like that. Okay, and then I can use this tool. Perfect. All right, looks good. All right, now I'm gonna take some rubbing alcohol and just get some of the excess off. There you go. And let's kind of clean the surface. And that's it. We're just gonna let this dry. Let it sit for 24 hours before you inflate the board. And it should be good to go. Well, thanks for joining along as I did this repair on this board. Hopefully you found that helpful for yourself if you need to do some of your own repairs. However, if you feel like the tear is too big or it feels like it's a bigger issue, please reach out to us at the shop. You can give us a call, you can message us, and we can help you guys out. But for the most part, I think it's a really straightforward process. Just follow these steps, and I think your patch job will turn out perfectly, and you get right back out there a day later, out paddling or winging or whatever it is you're gonna be doing on your board. So thanks again for joining along. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll try and get more how-to videos out there for you guys to fix your gear and make things better for yourself. All right, thanks again, guys. See you guys on the next video. Bye.